Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your weekly reading for February 1st to the 8th. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in. Capricorn, just a friendly reminder, this is a landmark month that we as a collective have never experienced. Okay, so there's going to be some aspects that we're approaching that's going to propel you into your brand new era. And remember, you can't take everything with you, right? Including old structures, old ways of thinking, patterns, the kitchen sink, all of that. You can bring your dog, yes, sure. Your favorite blanket, sure, why not? But you can't bring everything, okay? This week is one of those weeks of release, okay? It's immense healing. Look at what's going on here. Remember, you've got Saturn, your ruler, moving into Aries next week. You already got Neptune in Pisces, or I'm sorry, in Aries officially. So the you see changes are already happening for you, right? But the main thing is you're still riding the energy of the 5 planet conjunction that happened in Aquarius. All right. And this week you still have 5 planets in Aquarius. They're not conjunct, but you still have that energy there. All right. And remember, Aquarius rules your future. We're still in Aquarius season. And so there's a lot on the whiteboard we did not discuss in your monthly forecast last week, and even some of the same aspects that we did. I'm not going to go over the same information. Now, Sunday, February 1st, the big full moon in Leo, all right, 13 degrees. This is going to be, listen, you are going to go through, out of all the signs, some significant change around this full moon, all right? I want you to think about what happened for you around July 25th, okay? Think of even the 2 weeks after that, set off a cycle, right? This is the corresponding full moon in Leo in your 8th house. And so what does that mean? The 8th house is death and rebirth. It's transformation. It's regeneration. And so you're going through some changes. The 8th house heavily deals with relationships, building relationships, intimacy, as well as building your wealth, right? This is going to be a really big money week for you, all right? As in there's going to be some maybe changes that are happening with finances. And listen, that full moon here in Leo, that, it's a fire sign. You're going to feel the fire of this, okay? Remember, the 8th house has some depth. This full moon in your 8th house, this is where this full moon doesn't let you hide, okay? It's all about being honest with yourself and others. Remember, you still have 5, planets in Aquarius all week, and it is your 8th house where you're seeking truth anyway. So you may find yourself embracing your individuality. Your rebellious side might kick in to do something different. You might want a little bit more freedom, mental stimulation, all that Aquarius energy that you're feeling, especially around self-worth, self-value, and money. Yeah. Now, the other thing is that this full moon, I love it. It's great. It allows you to express yourself, your authentic self, okay? Aquarius is the mind, right? Leo is the heart. So you have this great mind-heart coherence. So be prepared to receive downloads and signals of your thoughts will be charged emotionally, right? Your emotions charged thoughtfully. If full moon's being emotional, this can be an emotional time for you, but again, with great passion. There's something here that you may be passionate about ending for this new you. There may be something, in the works in terms of your investments, long-term, investments. It can be relationships. It can be money, inheritance, royalties, loans, taxes. That's all part of the 8th house. All right. But this is also just a very unapologetic full moon. Like, you don't care what others think or say. You do you. You're giving yourself permission to be true to you. All right. Especially, again, everything that I said about money, finances, relationships, family, creative projects, all of that plays a role here, and your greatest passion. So let it be known, maybe your mantra today. All right. And Leo energy is also confident. It's when you have the stage. You're not a backup dancer. This is your stage. It's Leo, the lion, the roar, right? So it can be a little dramatic too, but therein lies the point. This is your world. It's your stage. Allow yourself to radiate, okay? And again, it's your eighth house. So there may be some other people involved on your journey, okay? In business and work and love and family. One thing, 2 weeks from now, remember, we will have the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. All right. So you're going to start getting acclimated. I feel like you're going to have a good idea of what this summer and beyond will be like for you, like big life lessons. And it may have to do with money. Okay. Because the North Node, South Node shifting, they're moving into Aquarius and Leo. Yeah. And remember, Jupiter's moving into Leo as well around that time. But either way, Aquarius rules your second house of finances, salary, income. It's your earning potential. Eighth house, remember, is like shared resources, other people's money. So again, a lot of emphasis on money. And if you are a cross watcher, if you do watch for your rising sign or your moon or for your favorite soccer player or whoever, right? Fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius will feel this full moon the most. And if you have any planets 11 to 15 degrees in any of the signs in your natal chart, well, those planets will be impacted, right? So you would feel it the most. Now, Monday, February 2nd, you've got Mercury in Aquarius, sextile Chiron in Aries, 23 degrees. So remember that all the inner planets are still in Aquarius, okay? This week, Venus, Mercury, Mars, the Sun. But we're talking about Mercury here. And Mercury is pretty close to Venus, but even still, this is going to be the first of 4 sextiles to Chiron this month. And Chiron is the wounded healer, where, you spend that time healing. You go deep, these old wounds, emotional, subconscious, to transform any of those wounds into wisdom. To help others as well. So the timing is really nice under the portal of this full moon, where it is all about release. And for you, again, maybe a big full moon for you. Okay, it is in your 8th house, and again, the 8th house is death and rebirth, like I said, and this is a full moon of release, but it feels more like a turning point for you. Okay, as you continue to reinvent yourself. But this is just clearing the decks with Mercury sextile Chiron, all right? Especially with your identity and confidence and even self-esteem, right? That Aries energy, but Aries rules your 4th house of home and family. So there may be something here where you are going to be doing some healing with family members, okay? Or even a realtor. It's the 4th house. It could be a parent, children, your significant other. Aquarius and Aries, by the way, very similar. Very similar. They're very independent. They love their freedom. They do their own thing. So there is a level of self-sufficiency, and it's important to be proactive with these sextiles. This is giving you the opportunity to heal. That can be cathartic and truly profound. Mercury in Aquarius, it is freeing your mind. It's accepting truths. It's feeling inspired about your future. And remember, Aquarius is just, it is humanity. It is, groups and organizations and friendships. It's people you connect with. So you could have some really deep conversations with Mercury in Aquarius, sextile Chiron in Aries. It's healing through words. Yeah, it's Mercury, right? Communication and logic, etc. But there is this raw honesty that comes with this. It's like part of the package, you releasing anything bottled up inside, okay? This allows you to vibrate at that high frequency, attract what you deserve. The higher the frequency, the more you manifest. I mean, this is release. Yeah? This allows you to ascend and brings relief and support and liberation and progress. But again, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the effort. Now, air signs, it will be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and I'm throwing in the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius will feel this the most. I'm also going to throw in Virgo. If you have any planets 21 to 25 degrees, fire or air, you're going to do some healing, all right? The fact that, again, 5 planets in your second house of self-worth. Yeah. So let this boost your confidence. Let this feel this one. All right. This is a great aspect. Tuesday, February 3rd. Yeah. Uranus is stationing direct 27 degrees. Listen, we talked about this in length last month. You see, we have aspects already with Uranus. So just remember, it is the planet of surprises and the unexpected and breakthroughs and innovation, wake-up calls. Yeah. It could also be chaos and breakdowns and upheaval, especially in squares. But as I always say, use these aspects. Don't let them use you. And to be honest, here's the thing. Uranus and Taurus, that's your 5th house. And so when you look at everything that's happening, there is very likely some activity this week, especially with Uranus going direct, that will have to do with love and romance. And again, family and children is a big theme for you this week. Procreation is the 5th house. Creative expression and creative projects. Yeah. A lot of y'all may love this, is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Just shake things up. You actually, when Uranus goes direct, you may have sudden realizations that some things you just need, to shake things up. Maybe some things are not working the way they used to in that department. Maybe there's something that you just have to change a little bit. Uranus has changed, especially, again, relationships and money. Big themes for you this week. Now, what else is happening? You've got Wednesday, February 4th, Venus, sextile Chiron. All right, in Aries, 23 degrees. So same thing as Mercury, sextile Chiron, but this is with Venus. So this is more about diplomacy. This is centered around relationships and love and money and self-worth. So you see what's happening here, right? Venus, who, ruler of the second, in Aquarius, which rules your second. So house, which would be very heavily focused on finances, but it's Venus. Okay. So this is repairing trust and redefining relationships and you allowing yourself to be vulnerable. Okay. This is the sisterhood of the traveling pants. All of them being so empowered and they went through their journeys. Anyway, remember, this week may be a little bit emotional. It may be a little bit of, you may be feeling a little bit more sensitive than normal as well. But Saturn is moving into Aries next week. Saturn, your ruler, joining Neptune, which is that spiritual warrior archetype. So this healing is necessary for your path to enlightenment, to become that spiritual warrior. All right? Because remember, we're leaving things behind. The parts of us that we don't want to bring, into our brand new era. And again, this full moon, you're still going to feel the energy of it, like all week, being in your 8th house. That's some true transformation that you will likely be going through. And Chiron, by the way, Chiron shows you the wounds, shows you the scars, and it's up to you to turn them into battle scars. You don't erase wounds. You don't eradicate wounds. You learn how to live with them. That's self-love. That's what empowerment is. So this day and every day, tell yourself that you're not going to let your old wounds, your past wounds, define who you are. Okay? Now, another thing that is happening is Thursday, February 5th, you've got Mercury, in Aquarius, that will square Uranus in Taurus. 27 degrees. So Mercury is, okay, so Mercury's the lower octave of Uranus, Basically, Mercury's like the iPhone. Uranus would be the cell tower. There's going to be some transmissions this day, right? There can be a little bit of a jolt. There could be, maybe you feel a little bit restless as well. But it is also this genius energy. Yeah, Mercury in Aquarius. So please use this aspect, okay? Please use this aspect. If you are, at the office and everyone's, pitching water slides, pitch up, a balloon slide. Just think different, okay? This is all about thinking outside the box. When you got Mercury squaring Uranus, yes, all right? So use it. And again, a lot of this will have to do with finances for you. Money is going to be a big, to be honest, you're going to have the moon in Libra today. Libra rules your 10th house, career. So there may be something here with career, salary, finances, but you can't rule out, the 5th house energy. But there is this entrepreneurial energy with the 5th house. And remember, it is like artistic expression and, recreation as well. So it could even be you turning some of your recreations into, I don't know, monetizing off them. That's what I mean here. Okay. Now, it because you could have these radical ideas come out of nowhere. But with all of that said, and again, relationships, there may be some surprises, but you use this aspect. But now with all that said, Uranus being the unexpected, just be mindful of your words and communication. So yes, be different, think different, do different, but just be mindful around this time because there's a lot of rebellious energy with Mercury in Aquarius square Uranus and Taurus, where, hey, that's 2 fixed signs. Not a lot of, you got a little bit of wiggle room, but use it. Okay. Remember, reality is created by the mind, and we can change our reality by changing our mind. Thank you, Plato. And it's that simple. Okay. It's that simple. So fixed signs are going to feel this the most. And Gemini and Virgo. You have any planets 25 to 29 degrees in any of those signs, you are going to feel it. You're going to feel this. The other thing is that, well, let me see here. Friday, February 6th. Yeah, Mercury will move into Pisces. It's going to be here all month. This is going to be very interesting for you. This is one of the reasons why I want you to be very mindful with communication, because Mercury in Pisces does rule your 3rd house of communication. And Mercury in Pisces, it's poetry in motion. It's softer communication. It's speaking more, emotionally with great imagination and intuition. This is perfect for artists, artistic types, the healing arts, meditation, spirituality. It's dreamer energy, but it's dreamer energy. So details and the facts and logic, all of that can get a little lost in the sauce with Mercury in Pisces. So the fact that it is in your 3rd house of communication, Mercury's home, just know that you may have some emphasis here where you might want to communicate and even think with, more compassion and inspiration, that Piscean energy, even metaphors. That's sort of the language of this transit. And yes, it's going to be all month. So again, you can use this in amazing ways. 3rd house is also, PR, advertising, marketing, branding yourself. This is such creative energy. Okay. So use it in a way that you benefit. And yeah, the moon, it's still in Libra actually. So again, a lot of focus on work. You could be feeling a calling of change. Yeah. In your 10th. Anyway, there may be some actually over the weekend, and we'll talk about this in the second spread, but the moon will be in Scorpio on Saturday. I always bring up when the moon is in Scorpio because it brings a little bit more intensity, emotional intensity. And the fact that the moon is going to square Pluto, Scorpio's ruler, we'll talk about it. All right, we'll talk about it. But that is your 11th house. And, there could just be some really deep bonding with friends. Yeah, it's your 11th house. And then Sunday, February 8th, yeah, we got Venus square Uranus, 27 degrees. We have this like twice a year. This is the first one this year. This is when you might get a sense there's maybe some change, maybe some shakeups, maybe some wake-up calls, maybe some breakthroughs, maybe some breakups. Okay? There is likely you feeling this urge, yeah, maybe a sudden urge, this need for freedom over comfort. Again, especially for you, relationships and money. So there may be something here that you identify needs to change. And it is a day where, yes, you could do something very unpredictable, something you're like, whoa, I didn't think that I had that in me. Yeah. It is your 5th house. So but again, you have the moon in Scorpio. You've got Venus in Aquarius in your 2nd. There could be something here where, you might quit your job on the spot. Or, something like that. You might I don't know, unfollow someone on Instagram or something. Like, you might stop. You might decide to put all your money into having a baby. Like, whatever. There just may be something here wherever you feel the most limited, you're going to want that breakthrough. Okay. And again, love and love, money, family, the biggest themes for you this week. But remember, Venus square Uranus. Venus is in Aquarius. Uranus is in Taurus. So there's mutual reception here because Venus is Taurus's ruler and Uranus is Aquarius's. They're hosting each other. So there is compromise. There is cooperation. There's this, breakthrough energy that can be very mutual. All right. It can maybe have, a little bit of chaos with it. Expect the unexpected, but you use this. You use these aspects, take control of these aspects, use them like they're the arrows to your bow, right? Fixed signs are going to feel this the most. And I am throwing in Libra. If you have any planets, 25 to 29 degrees. Yeah. In the fixed signs. Yeah. All right. That's when you really, really, really feel it. Capricorn, let's get started. Let's see what's going on for you with this week, February 1st to the 8th. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Yep. Thank you. Capricorn, how are y'all doing? Y'all, come on. Yeah, money really is going to be a big theme for you, not only this week, but remember, the nodes are moving there when we get to the summer. And of course, you're going to have an eclipse in Leo. You're going to have the, corresponding, full moon in Aquarius. You're going to have all of that. And that's just kind of like where, the lessons shift, right? The past year for you was more about communication, higher mind. It was, maybe even launching businesses, a lot that had to do with family. There was also education. There was likely you learning something, going back to school, or maybe you got a new job where you had to learn new way of doing things. But you could have also taken online courses. There's just, you've had a year, but this is a great week because if you use these Uranus aspects, you're shaking yourself free from things that you just didn't want to bring with you anyway. I do a traditional call to cross spread, offers the best overview, especially for a weekly reading. If we need to pull clarifiers, we will. Capricorn, I love you. Let's get started. Wow. This is gonna be a week. All right. Like we're gonna talk about it. You are definitely, we're going to talk about this, all right? You do have the 9 of Wands. Okay, so the 9 of Wands is actually, let me see if you have any other, yeah. Okay, so the 9 of Wands is attributed to Moon in Sagittarius, yeah? Funny enough, the Moon will be in Sagittarius come next Monday, but you've got to let some things go. All right. You've got to let some things go. There is a little bit of resistance, and it could be something that you've just been used to for such a long time, and maybe you're still very passionate about it. And when I say let things go, maybe it just becomes less of a priority, and you allow other things to become more of a priority. Now, the Nine of Wands is a great card of, resilience, and it's like, not giving up. But he's gone through it. You see the little soldier here with the gauze on his head. He's gone through it. He's not backing down. But with a week like this, there has to be moments. You have to have moments where you ask yourself, what I'm fighting for, is it worth it? Do I let other things in? Do I let these new paths open up for me? All right? Because you do have that Seven of Swords in the heart of your spread. And so I think that's just very interesting with that Nine of Wands, because it's almost like if you're holding on to this energy, there's all this activity where it's almost like people are getting ahead of you. Yeah. And so remember, this is a week, especially with all these planets in Aquarius, with a moon in Scorpio, with Pluto activated, with a full moon in Leo in your 8th house, which is Scorpio's home. It is all about being honest with yourself. Yeah? Really being honest with yourself. And even with others, letting things, in a very, graceful way. But it does feel like there's something that we're going to have to let go. I think you know it, okay? I think you know it. You have that Three of Cups in your challenge area. And so the Three of Cups is a card of celebration, and it's so joyful, and it's, even has a lot to do with like friendships and your squad and the people around you and that supportive energy, and they're clearly celebrating. But it's in your challenge area. So there may be something here where, again, maybe some, conversations you need to have with people that maybe a little, y'all are not seeing eye to eye, or maybe this week something happens. Just keep the needle moving. Keep the needle moving. All right. There's going to be a lot of aspects that, like a wave, continue to push you toward Saturn entering Aries, toward, the eclipse in Aquarius, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. Like, you can't bring this with you. All right. And so you see the three sisters here. Remember, you've got Mercury and Pisces in your 3rd, which is siblings, but you have so much home and family energy. So keep that in mind. There's also maybe something that you're, it's almost like there's something that it does feel like there could be something that you're expecting or hoping for, or looking forward to. And there does feel like a little bit of sabotage as well. And it honestly could be self-sabotage as well with what's happening here. Okay. With the 10 of Wands in your crown, I think you're ready. I think that, you have to let some things, just drift back into 2025. Push it all the way out of the 2026, right? The 10 of Wands is where it's another Sagittarius card. Sagittarius rules your 12th house, which would be, intuition and spirituality and the subconscious, but also the lower expression would be like, not facing your fears. It's, hidden enemies. It is self-sabotage. I mean, those would be those things, right? And so this is it can lead to some burnout. It's taking on a lot. And in a way where it's almost like distracting. He's distracting himself from important things that needs acknowledgement. All right. You see that he's carrying so many wands. He can't even see where he's going. Yeah. And so let's unpack, unload. And again, for you, I think that it's all just coming back to your center this week. If you ever feel that there may be some things that you're evading, there may be some things that you're just like, this is not going to change. This can't change, right? Just have some moments and think about, different options. Okay. If you know deep down in your soul that, no, those are the things that, of course, you're not going to change those. But when you get those signs, when you're, maybe overworking, overdoing things, like maybe even in a point where it's very taxing, it can be mentally taxing, it could be draining, spiritually draining. It's all about being honest with yourself. You do have that King of Pentacles in the root of your spread. Yeah, that's great. That's amazing. So he is the richest king. It does show that there may be, a lot of this might have to do with finances. Okay. And so, yeah, I would take that time to really think about your finances moving forward, but do it in a way where, there's so much confidence here. He's so confident. He's so comfortable. He holds that golden scepter. Like anything he touches turns to gold. He's integrated with his wealth. They're one. You can see, you can't even distinguish his robe from the harvest. Look at those juicy grapes. So, yes, very nice. Very nice. Okay. That's something that I feel like it's something inside you that, remember what I said, let it be known, where you've got the King of Pentacles. He's very practical. He's very pragmatic. He's a provider. He's a protector. I think those are parts of you that should come out this week. Yeah. You have that Eight of Swords. So when you're not facing your truths, when, you're sneaking away, you go straight from the 7 to the 8. Okay, same thing here. Like, oh no, I'm not changing something to the point where it is having a huge toll on me, right? So just bear that in mind. Eight of Swords is the card of self-sabotage. We call her, this is like the self-victim card, right? She put herself there. And so again, there may be something this week that you might have to acknowledge, but it's time. And if you don't, Uranus is going to bring it up. All right. That's what Uranus does. Remember, expect the unexpected. So you want to be able to take off that blindfold. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. All right. I'll clarify. I want to see your 7. I'll clarify some. Capricorn. What a week. What a week. I think that there is going to be a lot of change. And, Uranus being at such a late degree, your ruler Saturn being at such a late degree, there is some strong energy this week. And as you see, it is a week of healing. Okay? It's a week of healing, having wonderful conversations, but also knowing there may be some changes that you'll intuitively feel need to happen. And they, again, can be sudden. Yeah. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. All right. Tell me. Let's talk. All right. Let's see what, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this does look like a week where, well, you have the 5 of Cups. Yeah. And this pretty much confirms that what I said about the 9 of Wands with that 5 of Cups. The cups are spilled. It's done. But you can see him dwelling and just kind of just living in the past at these spilled cups, right? The 2 full cups behind him. So again, you see the pattern here. He's looking back. She can't see. He can't see. He's like, he's got 2% left. So there is, again, a little bit upstairs, especially with the swords. Wands would be your passions and, even creative energy. I mean, they're invigorating wands and highly associated with work and career as well, enterprise, profession, all of that. But it does look like there is something that you're not willing to let go, and it needs to be let gone. Okay? You got the Judgment card, external factors area. That's your calling. That's your calling. Okay? You did, yeah. Look at your monthly forecast. Look at your monthly forecast. All right? So this is having this awakening. All right? This spiritual awakening. And then everything else awakens, right? You see what you need to see. You hear what you need to hear. It's pretty life changing. And this is a huge wake up call, but it's Archangel Gabriel blowing the trumpet, the dead arising, right? And so this is the only tarot card in tarot that has any sort of huge connotation of sound. And as we know, sound is energy and frequency and vibrations. Sound is healing. Yeah. And so is this week. Yeah. There's something that you need to see, and you won't be able to see it if you continue to be distracted. Yeah. So that's a big, profound moment waiting for you, waiting to happen. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles. That's great. You got the pair, the King and the Queen. And so it's just, listen, move in that direction. Move in that direction where you don't have to, worry about money. You don't have to worry about, it seems like a big part of this week is being able to take care of your own, take care of your family, your lover, whoever it is. Yeah. And a lot of it has to do with your self-worth and your self-value too, right? As in, maybe you do have that aha moment. Like, you know what? I have 10 years experience in this. I'm going to leave this job. I can start my own business because I know that that's my path and I already have all the knowledge. Yeah. Things like that, right? Things like that. Anyway, 7 of Wands. In your final outcome. So what's really interesting is 7 of Wands, you can see there's spirited action here. All right. But once again, this card, it's a great card. It's valor. It's standing your ground. But you can see people coming after him. So there is a little bit of, again, there's some defensiveness here. Okay? Pushing people back. And, have your moments that you need for yourself, but then come back out and have this wonderful life. Vibrate at this high frequency, right? Everything is energy. The thing about the 7 of Wands is that's a Leo card. And with this full moon in Leo, again, it's just got to be really strong for you. And I think that for a lot of y'all, there may be some things illuminated, right? With it being the 8th house. And maybe things that, you even say, or you reveal, or, you make an announcement, whatever it is, but it's part of your transformation. And the 7 of Wands, yes, this can indicate a little bit of success and victory. Like, he's the one at the top of the hill, right? He's the victor. But how long can you do this for, right? The 7 of Wands. And instead of talking about things, right, it's still a little bit, there's, okay, so let me I'm going to clarify some for you. I do want to see the 7 of Swords. Well, let me see. Yeah, I'm going to see the 7 of Swords. Yeah, you got the 9 of Swords. There's something that you have to talk to someone about something. And it can be, the 7 of Swords is very, Machiavellian. It's very, It's the card of like lying, cheating, stealing, but at the core, it is deceit. It is dishonesty, right? What are swords? Swords are the mental suit. It is communication. But swords, the root of what the swords are is truth. Yeah. And so you got the Nine of Swords. Yeah. 7, 8, 9. So just be very mindful, especially with the way that you communicate this week. All right. The other thing is, there may be something that you're just letting slide by. Again, that would be more sure if someone's doing something that affects you, that and you don't say anything about it or you don't address it, that's still you not being honest with yourself, right? You're just okay, right? So you've got to, because that's it does feel like there is a little bit of processing that you want to do and clearing the air. I'm going to see the Eight of Swords. You got the King of Wands. That's great. Okay. So you see what happened. You see what's waiting for you on the other side. King of Wands is Leo, by the way. And this is a king who's gone through tremendous transformation. He's a king that's sitting in that throne, not through lineage or, succession. He worked his way up. And you've got the salamander here. You've got the, Ouroboros. You've got everything here indicating there's transformation involved. And the fact that you have this full moon in Leo in your 8th house of transformation, this is you coming out on the other side, feeling confident, feeling powerful, being that leader, being, also he is the entrepreneur. He's like the CEO. That's the King of Wands. But remember that great passion. Yeah. We'll do one more. I want to see that 7 of Wands. All right. So you get it, right? You get it. You're going to be fine. You're going to be absolutely amazing, actually. You just got the sun. This is part of what's happening, even astrologically, with your 8th house activated, with everything that's happening this week. You have the sun, which is optimism, okay? Which is like growth and vitality and great health and, wellness and wealth and opportunities and optimism. It's everything. It's the sun. It's the biggest yes in tarot. There's also this sense of achievement. There's this sense, you see the red banner here, you see the wisdom child, feeling free. That inner child, yeah? Tapping into that inner child. Again, it's, even with that Leo full moon, I mean, okay? So it looks like there's, the sun is card 19, by the way. 1 + 9 = 10. 1. There is a sense of rebirth, right? You even see the wisdom child with the red feather in his cap, referencing the fool. Okay, card 0. Let's get the. So there is a sense of ascension to rebirth, but in an amazing way. So you know what to do. You got some great things waiting for you. Have that moment, have that awakening that you need. That's what Uranus is going to do when he wakes up, okay? And you being, a fellow earth sign as Taurus, yeah. Again, I just see it doing great things for you. So as long as you use it, have those breakthroughs. Like, be on top. Everything. Anyway, you're going to be fine. You're going to be good. There is something you're really going to have to let go. There is something you're really going to have to think about and really process. And again, it does feel like there is someone else involved, okay? Or even others involved. Have those conversations. It's all about being honest and, doing that healing. So Capricorn, yeah. Oh, and tier 3 members, really good and legendary members, you know where to find the link for the second spread. We're going to go through a lot of these lunations, okay? Because there's a lot of different aspects that are going to have a big impact on you, including the fact that you do have the moon in Scorpio that will sextile Juno. That's in your sign. But anyway, the second spread is where we do the lunations and asteroids and fixed stars, etc., etc. The other half, right, of your forecast. Anyway, anyone's welcome to join. The day, by the way, that these videos come out, which will be Wednesday, will be my birthday. Thank you so much. To celebrate, I am giving access to a couple videos on greatawakener.com. If you're into that, like, my predictions videos, my channeling videos, we have, an amazing hypnotherapist doing, hypnotherapy, teaching hypnotherapy, giving free sessions, an amazing person doing breath work classes. Anyway, there's a lot there. So that'll be Wednesday until just whenever I turn it off. And the last thing I want to say, Capricorn, is that I am about 80% out of my vortex that I've been going through. If you saw so I do want to take this time to thank you again for all your kindness. All your messages continue to come, so it really is very meaningful to me. So I have so much gratitude, and I really do appreciate all your support and kindness. So thanks so much, Capricorn. And yeah, if you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, all of that. But tell me what's going on. This is going to be a week for you. This is going to be a week. All right. I'm going to let you go. All right. Thanks so much. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.